All right, so this is how you create a play in Huddle. Okay, and basically I went to the JV installs and created an install for Spring Creek, and then you want to go ahead and add a play and then a single play, and you can choose plays or you can create a new play. And then we're going to create a new play, and then for some reason it only lets me get rid of this if I refresh. Okay. All right, so put it in formation, so you could say pro, and then whatever the formation is, 36 power, and then you could put in here 3 4. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get this out of here. I don't want my whole face on here. I wonder if that just killed the. Okay. All right, let's move this out of the way. Okay, so Pro has X and Z. Okay, and then you're gonna want to add some some circles, and you can always put a QB in there. I can add another one and put a H. Okay, and you can add another one and put a T. Okay, and then you can add a defense. And you can come over here, you can do triangles, you can do letters. Okay, so we'll put here a nose, here a Leo, here an end. Okay, up here we'll put Joker and Sam and Mike and Will. Put a corner here. Put a corner here. You don't have to do this once, because then you can start moving people around. And then maybe a rover and a free. Okay, and you can move these guys around if you need to. Just click on that. You can move him over here. You can move him down. Okay, you can move them back. Whatever you want to do, just click on this little button here. Okay, so the play is 36 power. Okay, so if we're running our power, we want to definitely draw the blocking first. So you come up here and you start drawing lines to where they're going to block. Okay, and then definitely drawing a blocking line there, and then a blocking line there, and then you can take this guy and basically you can incrementally change him. Okay, whoops. So, and there is an undo button. So if you don't like how that's done, okay, and then you can take him, and now we want to make him a runner. Okay, and he's going to go here. Undo that. Okay, and we got him pulling, so we want to do this. So he's going to pull. Okay, and then this guy's going to block. And he's going lateral to the mic. Okay, for him, he would be going to there. For him, he'd be going to here. And then your quarterback is whatever he's doing. Okay, he would step here. Okay, and you can change the color of that if you want somehow. Oh, sorry, let's do this, sorry. So we'll make him the blue one. So we know he's getting the ball. Okay, and essentially you have everybody who's blocked. Okay, you can come down here and put rules if you need to. Okay, and then that would be pro, say king, right, pro, 36 power. Okay, versus 3-4. So it tells us everybody what their job is, and you can certainly, if you wanted to, say he's a tackle, he's a guard, he's a center, he's a guard, he's a tackle, and then you come down here and say like left tackle, right guard, left guard, however you want to do it, and you tell them their rules. Okay, so X would angle block to free safety. Y would down block the end. Z would stock block corner. Quarterback is handing off to T and booting away. H is J blocking to the outside linebacker. Left tackle is lateral and vertical to Mike, linebacker. Right tackle is double down on nose with center. Oh, sorry, that's the right tackle, sorry. Down block to Mike. Lateral and down to Mike, linebacker. Right guard is pull, turn up to first backer inside. Center is double nose with right guard. Sorry, this should be the left guard, sorry. And the right guard is double nose with center. Okay, oh, and then I suppose the, who's the, oh, that's the tailback. Lateral step and vertical through a with a gap point, but follow left guard out the hole. So that would be how you give everybody the rules, and that's basically how you create a play. So, and then at the end you create a play, and then it says saved, add another play. You can start with the blank play, you can copy just the formation and defense, or you can copy this whole play. So maybe you start with a blank slate, or you copy this whole play, or copy just formation and defense. Okay, so at least you'll have the defenders out there, so you could come up here and here's your next play. Okay, so if you want to move people around, but you have the defense already set, now you can just draw lines. You can change the color of this guy, to where he's, you know, whatever play you have. And then you could go King Right Pro, 22 trap. Okay, and you could draw a trap. Okay, and then you could create that play. So basically, I say no thanks, I'm done when you're done. Okay, and then if you wanted to copy this play, you could come up and copy. And if you wanted to flip it to the other side, you could just say flip horizontally. So obviously it would be King Left Pro and 37 power. Okay, it would be the same thing, you just did it the opposite direction. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. You can move it if you need to. And then if you need to come in here to edit this play, you come up and edit. And then you can do the same thing for everybody and draw their lines and draw their rules. Okay? So hopefully that helps you put together, and you can go back to the install, go to all installs, and then the Spring Creek offense, and then you have your plays, and then you can toggle between them by hitting next and next. And then when you're done with that, if you want to go back to the install, you can print. Okay, you can print the install. Okay, you can do it that way, you can do it this way, which is probably better. Okay, and then it'll build you a print playbook. Okay, and you can print those out. Okay, and then if you want to print those out, you can. Okay, so those would be the King Right Pro 36 power with all the rules and the lines. King Left Pro 37 power with all the rules and the lines. And then as you start building your offenses, you can. Okay, so hopefully that helps. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna end the recording.